Morning guys, welcome to a slightly later than usual Friday Waffle. I'm recording this Saturday morning obviously. I'm downstairs in the living room, my wife and daughter are out, so I thought I'll just do it down here for a wee change. Apologies about the lack of a waffle last night. I should maybe think about calling it the weekly waffle rather than the Friday. I know some of you get a wee bit upset when it doesn't appear, but aye, real life, you know, what is that? Bloody hell, why should that affect my channel? But yeah, I was on a night out last night in Glasgow. It was my work's Christmas thing, so quite a good night actually. Got the train through and went for a meal and then had a few beers and then got back. I actually managed to, for the first time I managed to actually get the train back home, because I've got a terrible history of missing the last train and ended up stranded and having to get a taxi, whatever. So I actually managed to get home. So I was home for about 11 o'clock last night, but I wasn't in any fit state to record the waffle at that point. So yeah, I hope you all had an alright week. As always, I've had a really busy week. In fact, there's not many people that can claim to have done the work. I was on a plane, I was on a train, and I was also on a boat, believe it or not. I look after a building in an island called Rossi, or not Rossi is the name of the town, it's Butte. So I've been in all different sort of modes of transport this week. I was up at Campbelltown on, when was I there? Thursday. Was it Thursday? Yeah, it was Thursday. And the weather was pretty bad. It was, high, gale force winds, and I really didn't expect the flight to be on, but it was. And coming back, they decided to go via Tyree, which is like, instead of going from Campbelltown down to Glasgow, they went from Campbelltown up to Tyree and then back down to Glasgow. And of course this was about 6 o'clock at night, and it was obviously pitch black, and I'm looking out the window. The plane that you go on, I think there's 10 seats in it, so it's a tiny little plane. You feel every single bump, and every time the wind catches the plane you feel it. It's not like these big Airbuses that you go on when you're going to your package holiday to Spain. So we'd been on the plane for about, normally the flight from Glasgow to Campbelltown is about 20 minutes, half an hour. But because we're going up to this Tyree, he was always going to make it longer. But as we got to Tyree, I was looking at the window, and it was pitch black, but I could see lights appearing. And then, the lights were getting closer. And then I noticed what was like a Christmas tree, must have been somebody's back garden with lights in it. And it was getting closer and closer and closer. I thought, right, we're coming into land. And I could feel the plane getting buffeted about with the wind. And then it was getting closer and closer and closer. We must have been very close to landing, and then at the last minute the plane just veered up and rose up again, and it was pretty scary. Eventually we arrived in Glasgow. I say it was about an hour and a half later, and they did apologise and said that they were actually going to land in Tyree, but because of the weather, the wind, they had to abandon it at the last minute. And yeah, I can completely understand why people don't like flying. I don't mind flying, I quite enjoy flying, but even I was getting a wee bit edgy. There was a woman that had a cat, of all things, in a bloody box, and the cat was constantly meowing. And have you ever seen any of the Final Destination films where people die? I was starting to get thoughts about, is this my time? The cat meowing, looking out the window, I could see it looked like it was snowing, whatever. I thought, this is my time, this is how I'm going to go. In a blazy glory. But fortunately we did eventually arrive in Glasgow. So yeah, it's been quite a week. I said I was on a boat as well on the Wednesday, and then I was on a train last night, so I definitely get about as far as modes of transport. eBay, yeah, I mentioned last week I've been selling some bits and pieces. I sold a ream of Master System games, and the thing about eBay, I always forget how crap eBay is until I actually use it, and then I remember how crap it is. And to be fair, it's not, well, it is kind of their fault. I think it was about 20 parcels, each of them with a Master System game. Now I don't know if you've seen a Master System game. It's kind of the same size as a Mega Drive box. You know, it's not super narrow, it's quite chunky. So I priced the game's postage £1.50. Now I had to buy padded envelopes, which are about, I don't know what they were, about 50 pence. So that took it down to £1.30 for postage. When I got to the post office, because it wouldn't fit through they've got a plastic thing and they try and push it through, and if it fits through then it goes as a large letter. But because this thing was too chunky, it ended up costing me £2.90 per parcel. So I had charged the buyer £1.50 and it cost me £2.90 plus 50 pence for the postage. So that would be what for the envelope. So that was like £3.40. So I ended up losing. It ended up costing me money to post these damn things. And then so that was that, and I thought, well, next time I need to charge £3.50, whatever it is for postage. Which people will look at and think that's excessive, but that is the price to post something now on eBay. Or not on eBay, but that's the price to post something. Where was I going with this? So anyway, then one of the games I mentioned, it ended up selling for, was it £65? Now I have no idea about collectible games, whatever. So I got 65 quid for it, and I posted it off, and I mean I was only going to be, again, I only charged the guy £1.50, but I said to him, because of, the game had gone for quite a bit of money, I'll post it as a goodwill gesture first class. So I paid for it first class. And when I put out, I put an auction up, I always try and describe the game as best as possible. So the guy got it, and he came back to me and he said he can't leave me good feedback because I didn't describe the game, I didn't describe it as it was. He told me that there was a sticker, rather than having the price sticker on the front of the plastic casing, whoever had been selling the game, they'd actually put the sticker on the cover itself. So it was difficult to come off. So he pulled me up for that. He said, "You didn't tell me that." And I said, "Well, it was in the picture, you can see it was in the picture." And he was moaning about that the cover on the back was faded slightly. And I said, "Look, I'm really sorry you're disappointed." I says, I'm not one of these collectors that goes after expensive games. I don't sell expensive games. I say, the game's a game for me. I says, the other games I sold, I got like 3, 4, 5 quid. So, I'm not used to this, having to describe everything exactly. If I knew it was going to sell for 65 quid, I would have possibly been a bit more descriptive. But I just thought, you know what, I said, you can see I'm a good person. I said, I've got 100% feedback. I said, I even posted it first class at no extra expense as a goodwill gesture. But I'm not saying the guy's a knob, but I think he's been a bit unreasonable. If that was me, I would have been, I might have been slightly disappointed, but I would think, well, the guy's an honest person, he's a good guy, he's trying to help me out here, sending it first class instead of second class, which I paid for. But no, so you know what, I ended up thinking, fuck it, so I don't normally swear, but I just thought, fuck this. So I emailed him back and I says, "Listen, if you're not happy, just send it back and I'll refund you." And then he came back to me and says, "Oh no, it's okay. I'm going to try and buy a cheaper version that's in poor condition, and I'll use the case." So I don't know whether he was just being a bit of an arse moaning for the sake of it, but I just think, I sold all the games that I sold. I got £190 for. The postage worked out at, what was it? It was about 40 quid for postage. And then I got the eBay bill, which was 30 quid. So there was like about over 70 quid came off. Alright, the postage is part of it. So instead of thinking I'd made 190 quid, I made about £100. So, aye, but I don't know, I can't be arsed with the nitpicking of some people. I understand, if people are selling things for a lot of money, they're paying a lot of money for things, but I'm one of these people. I buy a game, if I can get a game without a box cheaper than one with a box, I'll quite happily take the cheaper option. you know, I couldn't give two shits about whether a cover's got a mark in it or whether it's got a tear in it. And so when people start moaning to me about it, I'm like, whatever, you know. But I know that's a collector thing. People want mint condition, but it was annoying being made out to almost be like a liar. He said, you know, oh, I'm not saying that you did it deliberately, but other people could think that you were trying to hide something. And I'm like, seriously, you know. So anyway, that's my eBay whinging. I don't know. I just think it's bloody petty, but anyway, what was the other thing I was going to talk about? Yeah, eBay selling pettiness. Anything else? What have I been doing games wise? I said, because I've had a busy week at work, I've been really busy. I've not been playing any games at all. One thing I was hoping was going to arrive today, which it hasn't, is I've picked up myself another PSP. I did, you might have seen it, I did a video, the PSP Go, which is a nice little machine, but it's because of the size, it's not the easiest to kind of use. It doesn't feel particularly comfortable because it's just kind of slightly too small. So I managed to pick up a Japanese PSP off one of my mates actually. So he was going to post it, and also there was another guy that was going to give me. He's got one. He gave it to me for the price of postage. So I've hopefully got a couple of PSPs coming. I was hoping they're going to get delivered today, but when I'm talking just now, I noticed the Royal Mail guy was outside, but he's pissed off. So it looks like it's not going to be here today. So anyway, listen, let's crack on. I want to get this out today. I've got a few questions. Kicking things off, I have got GTB Films. That's my mate Alan. Enjoy your night out. I certainly did, Al, thank you. I have a question for Nick's Waffle. It was in the news today that a UK YouTuber had to call emergency services when a stunt to cement his head inside a microwave oven went wrong and he found himself unable to breathe. He's posted the resulting video on his channel despite the fact he wasted the time of the emergency services with his stunt. He's always doing stunts on his channel, but usually without needing rescued. Do you think it's time that YouTube regulated content to prevent this eventually getting out of control, as more and more would-be YouTube stars go to extreme lengths to make their channel different? You know, that's even forgetting YouTube, that's just absolutely ridiculous, it's stupid. What I think they should start doing with emergency services, if you do something stupid like that, then you should have to pay to get rescued. Why should we, the taxpayer, pay to, you know, for somebody to do something as ridiculous as that? Yeah, I think what YouTube, I mean, I've not seen the video. I'm not really interested in watching it. But yeah, I mean, the thing about YouTube, it's a double-edged sword. As much as it's a wonderful thing that you can do what I'm doing, sit on the couch, mobile phone, and just talk. You know, anybody at all with an internet connection and a phone can have a YouTube channel. You know, as you say, there's people, they're just going further and further and further to try and be different and get themselves noticed. It's all about the I want to be famous thing that you get nowadays with the celebrities, the Kardashian mentality. You know, people that have got no redeeming features other than wanting to be famous. They want to be recognised. You know, I just think it's a sad indictment of where we are in, you know, society nowadays. Instead of wanting to be a fireman or a soldier or a policeman or whatever, or a footballer or whatever, people want to be famous. So yeah, that's just ridiculous. But yeah, possibly, Alan, if YouTube were to sort of monitor it. I mean, I suppose the thing is, it must be difficult to monitor because YouTube is such a massive thing. I mean, I don't know how many videos get uploaded onto YouTube every day. It must run into, I wouldn't say millions, but it must run into, it probably is millions when you think about it. I've got no idea, but it must be a lot. I mean, I don't know where they store all their videos, their bandwidth and that kind of stuff, but I suppose just, you know, trying to patrol or, you know, moderate videos going up. I mean, I know obviously if you put up some really terrible video, then it would get taken down. But aye, that guy's an arse. You know, that's just ridiculous. You know, fool that the man is. Anyway, thanks Al for the question. Next one, Mr. Batman. Great waffle as ever. Potential subject: best games on systems not particularly suited to that type of game, i.e. best silky smooth shoot 'em up on a Spectrum Amstrad, best fastest racer isometric 3D on the Commodore 64. Over to you, sir. Oh, I would really... That's one I would really need to do a wee bit of research, I think, but I can't say that I've ever seen a silky smooth scrolling game on either the Spectrum or Amstrad. Now, that's not to say that there isn't one out there. What was the game I was playing? You know, it was a game I was playing for a video that will be getting put out next week. It was a shoot 'em up in the Spectrum, and I was really surprised at how well it's scrolled. It was quite impressive. But I suppose what you're trying to say here is games that just look impossible and really shouldn't be possible. I mean, I suppose the obvious game on the Spectrum would be Chase HQ, and on the Amstrad. Chase HQ, so I keep looking over there, you know what, there's my house, that's my living room window there, and there's a roundabout, and it's one of these annoying things. You can be sitting watching the TV, which is in that corner, and every time a car comes in, you can't but help look at it, so I keep getting distracted with cars coming in. I'll try and not do it, but I know I will keep doing it. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, Chase HQ, I mean, it is a supremely impressive game on the Amstrad and the Spectrum. You know, how the guys managed to program it is beyond me, and then you look at the Commodore 64 one, which is just utterly dreadful. Despite the fact that the C64 is actually quite good, it's got sprites and that kind of stuff. But yeah, like I said, I can't think of any game that's got like really silky smooth scrolling on the Spectrum or the Amstrad. If there is a game, let me know. Stick it in a comment down below. As far as the Commodore 64 goes, I mean, the C64 was never famous. Not famous. It was never renowned for like 3D vector graphics, stuff like Elite and that kind of stuff. I mean, compared to the Spectrum had, I don't know how much quicker it is. The processor is quite a bit quicker on the Spectrum, excuse me, than the C64. But Mercenary was a game that came along, and the graphics were actually quite fast. So that kind of showed that the Commodore 64 was capable of doing a good game, despite people thinking that it was, you know, it simply couldn't do it. Well, that showed that it could do isometric 3D games on the C64. I know I've never actually played it. Is it Head Over Heels? I think is out in the Commodore 64. I might actually do an 8-bit face-off kerfuffle to have a look at it. Yeah, I might do that actually. And again, I think it showed that the Commodore 64 could do isometric 3D games. I don't think it would be as impressive as the Spectrum. I mean, the Spectrum was a little powerhouse when it came to these kind of games, but it's an interesting question. Sorry, but I can't really be any more specific because I can't think of any game on the Spectrum Amstrad that had silky smooth scrolling. Like I says, you know, Chase HQ is an amazing game in both these systems. But I'm going to do an 8-bit face-off kerfuffle for Head Over Heels and compare versions. It'll be interesting just to see how it goes. I might even do one for Mercenary as well. So yeah, anyway, thanks for the question, Bat. Next up is Joe Hunter. Hi Alan, do you see yourself buying any mini retro consoles if any more come out? Keep up the good work, mate. Thanks, Joe, that's nice for you to say. Mini consoles, I presume you mean like the SNES Mini, the NES Mini. I don't have an NES, I've never owned one, but I would pick up one if I could get it for a decent price. I mean, it came out for, was it 60 quid, I think it was. And of course, you know, usual Nintendo, they stuck them out in short supply and the price went through the roof. You know, you've got to pay over £100 for one, which I'm not going to pay. I'm not prepared to pay 100 quid for something like that. I did get the SNES Mini, which is, I've got to say, I think it's a really, really nice little bit of hardware. You know, it gets criticised, you know, it's not the real deal. Why is it not the real deal? People say, oh, it's emulating. You know what? Emulation is, it's technology that is here. It allows you to run software. So people that criticise emulation, you know, for emulation's sake, I think it's just been, again, it's been petty. I mean, the emulation on the SNES Mini, if it is emulated, is brilliant. I mean, I was at the computer club, it was last month I think it was, or the month before, and what we did was there was a real SNES, an original SNES, and we put on R-Type, and then we put R-Type, or Super R-Type as it's called. Every game in the SNES was Super. We put the same game on the SNES Mini, and we played them side by side, and they ran identical, even to the point the slowdown was there on the SNES Mini as well. So if it is emulated, then they've done a cracking job. Going back to the question, Joe, I've got the SNES Mini. I mean, people are talking about, in fact, there was a video I watched this week, and I thought, I didn't even know that was out, and somebody had made actually quite a professional looking N64 Mini, as if it was like an advert. They were selling it like an advert, and I watched it and I thought, oh, that's quite good, but I've got no love for the N64 at all. I loved Mario 64. That is the only game I would be interested in owning. If you know, I mean, if the N64 Mini came out for a decent price, then I would maybe buy it just to play Mario 64. I've got no interest in any other games. As far as any other mini consoles, I don't know. I mean, I think if they brought out like a PlayStation and they packed it with, like, I don't know, say they stuck like a 1 terabyte drive in it and you could put all your own games in it, then it might be something I'd think about, but I don't know. I've got all the real systems. There's not really any other mini systems that I'm looking at buying. I mean, that could all change, of course, you know, it just depends what's out there, but I do know they're supposed to be bringing out an N64 Mini, but I've got no interest in it, because I mean, it's the one console I did own with the EverDrive, and I sold it because I just didn't like it, never really played it. Anyway, Joe, thanks for your question, mate. Right, next up, we've got the ever reliable Mr. Kevin down the rabbit hole. Thanks, Kev. Hi, Alan. For the Friday Waffle, the Nintendo Switch is not the first portable console that also hooks up to a TV. You also have the Nvidia Shield, which does the same thing. Can you compare and contrast them about things like screen size, resolution when docked to TV, or how both of them feel in your hands? Well, yeah, you can see there, Kev, I've brought them along. You've all seen a Nintendo Switch. It's okay. I mean, it's got the little, is it Joy-Cons, I think they call it. Nintendo always call it their little things. I mean, it's certainly, it's comfortable enough. You know, it feels like you're playing a large tablet, which you know, essentially that's what it is. I mean, there's different ways to play it. You can well, if you're talking about playing it in your hand, you can also take that off. You can sit it down and just use it as a screen. But the screen in this is beautiful. It really is, and you can see it's quite a large screen. I mean, compare it to the Nvidia Shield. I'm not going to turn it on. You can see the screen size. The Switch is quite a bit bigger. Yeah, so I mean, you do get a far more panoramic kind of experience with a huge big screen. The sound in this is pretty good as well. I think it is stereo, and the sound on the Shield is pretty good. As far as being docked to TV, I mean, I think the Switch wins, you know, hands down as far as being connected to, you know, to the TV. One, it's wireless, so you know it's docked, and what you can do is you can either use the Joy-Cons, you can take them off and plug them into the little adapter, so you've got a little gamepad, or you can do what I do, and I bought the Pro controller, which is stupidly expensive, but I've got to say that's the way I like to play it using this. It's got nice buttons on it. So yeah, the fact that it's wireless, whereas obviously the Shield uses a mini HDMI cable. You know, you've got the cable aspect of it. I mean, this is this is a nice console. The only downside to it, I would say, is the weight. I think because of the battery, it must be the battery that adds all the extra weight. It is heavy. You wouldn't want to play it for like a couple of hours at a time. But the controls themselves in this thing are really, really nice. Probably not quite as nice as this, but you know, if you're talking about playing the Switch in handheld mode, then that's how you're going to control it. I think I prefer the controls on the Shield from a portable point of view rather than this. I don't know. I think you get used to it, but nah, you know, both are excellent machines. The Shield's obviously a lot older than the Nintendo Switch, but both really nice machines. Obviously, again, the games on the Switch are far more next gen, you know, compared to the Nvidia Shield. But yeah, again, both machines excellent, and this is a fantastic little handheld. It really is. They're getting rare to pick up. Let's go the big bit that sticks on there for no other reason other than you know, looks wise. But yeah, anyway, I'm kind of waffling a wee bit. But both are nice systems, Kev. I think the Nvidia Shield in the hand feels comfier, but I think the Switch, you can't really compare. You know, you're comparing a brand new machine with something that's probably about 4 or 5 years old. So the games on the Switch are obviously way superior to what the Nvidia Shield could do. But anyway, that's question one. Number two. Secondly, it looks like there's going to be a PlayStation 5. Will you get it? How about a PlayStation 6? Or in a couple of years, PlayStation 7? You know what? I mean, I've got the Xbox One. I don't have the new one, whatever it's called. The PlayStation 4 is a great machine. Yeah, it really is a good machine. I mean, the funny thing was, I had the original PlayStation was the one that I liked, and then I went to the Xbox, and then I then got the Xbox 360 rather than the PS3. But then I got the PS4. The PS4 is a great machine. I prefer it to the Xbox One. I know there's not a great deal of difference. I just like it. It's got a far kind of cleaner interface. You know where you are. You can jump into games, whereas I find the Xbox a bit kind of faff. But anyway, getting back on track. Will I buy a PS5? Probably will. If it's a genuine upgrade, i.e. brand new games that the PS4 can't do, then I probably will. And it'd be the same with the PlayStation 6 and 7. Though whether I'm around to play the PlayStation 7 is who knows. I mean, I've not been tempted to get a PlayStation Pro. I've thought about it, but I've asked a few people and I've said, look, I don't have a 4K TV. I'm not interested in 4K gaming. I know people that have it swear by it. They say it's an amazing experience. I've never seen a 4K TV, and I'm quite sure it's impressive, but it's the old adage, what you've never had you don't miss. So that applies to me with my 4K TV. I've never had one. I mean, the TV over there, it's a plasma. I got it in 2007, so in TV years it's an antique, but you know what? It works perfectly. I've got no interest in getting a new one until that one stops working. So yeah, I say that the PlayStation Pro, I wouldn't buy one. People have said unless you've got a 4K TV, don't buy it. So I've got no interest in getting one, but if a genuine successor to the PlayStation 4 comes out, presumably called the PlayStation 5, then I would probably get it, because I like my games. So yeah, next, third question from Kev. Have you seen Vectrex Rolly has got a new Asteroid cartridge? I searched YouTube and it looks like an excellent port of the original with a lot of new options. Do you think Battlezone and Tempest are far behind? You know what, Kev? I saw Roland had made a comment on Facebook about it, and I was looking at the comments and I couldn't quite figure out if it was actually if there was actually a new Asteroids cartridge. I'll need to have a look at that, because if it's as good as you're making out, then I would love it, because Asteroids is an amazing game, and I know you did a cracking video a few years ago, basically saying you didn't think, or did I ask you that? I can't remember. Basically trying to prove that Asteroids isn't really doable on the Vectrex because of the slow kind of clock speed. There's a few sort of decent versions. Is it Rockeroids? I think it is. Probably my favourite, and I think the best Asteroids clone there is Mindstorm. I mean, that is a great game, but I'll need to go and have a look at Vectrex Relay. He's done a video, or no, you didn't see he's done a video, but there is a video on YouTube. I'll need to go and have a look at that. I'm guessing if Asteroids is possible, then I don't see any reason why Battlezone or Tempest wouldn't be next. I'd love to see Tempest. I'm not too bothered about Battlezone, but I think Tempest on a Vectrex would be a thing of beauty, and that would be really nice. And next one, we've seen a slew of new games for old mascots recently. Other than Mario, who's your favourite mascot? I don't know whether it's an age thing, Kev. You know, I was an adult when Sonic the Hedgehog came out. I don't really do mascots. I can't think of any mascot that I go, oh, I can't wait to get his game. I think I've always looked upon mascots as being a kind of kids thing. You know, a grown adult's not going to be going, wow, Sonic the Hedgehog. Don't get me wrong, you know, there's some great games out there, but I've never really been a mascot type person. Nah, I mean, if I was, I'd probably say Horace Goes Skiing. Horace, he was the original gaming mascot, I think. But nah, I can't say, I don't think I've got a favourite mascot. I always just think it's slightly childish, but love the games. And lastly from Kev, finally, I know you like shoot 'em ups, but how do you feel about bullet hell games? Yeah, bullet hell games, they're an interesting beast. I mean, I don't know what you define as bullet hell. I would define it as it's a shoot 'em up, but the baddies just release seemingly, you know, an unavoidable amount of bullets. The whole screen fills up with bullets, and you think there's no way I can possibly avoid that. But I've got a few mates who are particularly good at video games, and one of them actually described a bullet hell game. He says it's got more in common with a puzzle game rather than a shoot 'em up game, because when you look at like something like I was going to say Dodonpachi. I mean, Dodonpachi is kind of bullet hell, but there are worse games. I mean, Radiant Silvergun and what's Arakuda. I mean, Arakuda is an insane game. When you actually look at it, you think it's impossible to avoid the bullets. But if you ever actually study somebody playing it online, you'll see that there is always a path through the bullets. What generally happens is that the spaceship that you control, it might only be one little pixel in the cockpit of the spaceship that is actually the hit, you know, the sort of hit point. So as long as you can avoid that and guide it through the bullets, you'll be okay. I mean, I love all shoot 'em ups, I really do. I like to play bullet hell games. I'm not particularly good. I think it's kind of almost comes down to memory. It's a slightly different game from, like, say, Galaxian. Galaxian is it's 100% shoot 'em up, you know. Whereas bullet hell games, I say, it's not just shooting things. It's about avoiding the bullets is as big a part of the game, if not more, than the actual shooting things, if that makes any sense. But I do enjoy playing them. I'm not very good at them. I mean, I think probably Dodonpachi is about my limit. I mean, you get games like Gunbird. And what's the other ones again? Is there Gunbird 1 and 2? Can't can't remember, they're in MAME and they're just insane. You see the bullets, it's just incredible. But I do enjoy playing them, Kev, but I'm not very good at them. But anyway, listen mate, thanks very much for the question. Excuse me. Next up is Mr. Lurch 666444. Waffle question, video game unrelated. Have you made a bucket list? What would you put on your bucket list? Extra points for video game related answers. I don't have a bucket list as such, but there's a few things I would like to do before I kick the bucket. Definitely. Whether I get to do them is another thing, but there are things I'd like to do. When I eventually get to a point I can't run anymore, you know, I need to give up running. Not got a dog that's just spotted somebody walking past the window. How dare they walk past the window? Jack, stop it. Yeah, bucket list. One thing that I would really like to do is to go across the States and drive along Route 66. I know a lot of the original Route 66 is no longer there, but I'd want to hire an open top car, like an open top Chevy, and drive right across from west to east. I've just got a fascination with the American 50s, you know, with the drive-throughs and the big giant like mascots, big giant statues outside, you know, burger joints, big hot dogs, and you've seen them all, the big drive-throughs and that kind of stuff. I've got a fascination for that side of America, and I said I would love to hire a car, whether it's me and my wife, me and my mate, whatever, hire a car and drive across Route 66, and it's going to be an open top car. I think that would be amazing, so I'd love to do that. I would also like to do, like, go on safari. I would love to spend time in Africa or whatever and just see animals, you know, up close and personal, taking photographs. Again, whether I'll ever get the chance to do that, I don't know. And the last one, which is probably more achievable, yeah, I was talking about if I can't run anymore, is there's a hill, is it over 3,000 feet? I think it is. Any hill that's over 3,000 feet is classed as a Munro in Scotland. Now there are, I think there's about 300 Munros in Scotland, so I would like to eventually climb them all. I've climbed a couple probably in my life, but I would like to take up hill walking, or hill climbing, I suppose you could call it. So it's kind of, I was going to say fairly simple things I'd like to do. Is there anything else? I can't think. I mean, I'd like to go to the moon. I don't think that'll ever happen. As far as bucket lists and gaming wise, I don't think so. You know what? I think I've kind of done everything that I want to do. Yeah, from a gaming perspective, I wanted to get a YouTube channel. I've got it. You know, I wanted Ace people to watch it, and I've got that as well. So yeah, all good. So I think that's it. Possibly other things later on I could think of, but I think that's my bucket list. Go on safari, drive across America on Route 66, and climb every Munro in Scotland. So anyway, listen much, thank you. Page 2 guys, almost there. Ian Hunter, hi Alan, a nice easy question for the next waffle. What computer or console related item, irrespective of price, would you like to find in your stocking on Christmas morning? I think the obvious answer for me for that one would be my Sharp X68000. I would want one that's in mint condition, you know, fully working. That would be rather nice. But the chance of getting that is pretty difficult. I suppose if I had the room, so let's take out the logistics side of it. You know, imagine I've got a massive house and a big basement, so forgetting that I don't have space. I think a mint Robotron cabinet, arcade cabinet would be really nice. Yeah, that wrapped up, it would be excellent. That, or I says a Sharp X68000 computer. So if you want to get me that, that would be very much appreciated. So thanks, Ian. Next, Craig Wilson. Sad to hear you're getting rid of your Master System, an underrated console. Though if it's not being used, I suppose it's just taking up space and gathering dust. Hope it goes to a good home. You mentioned Bioshock. Did you ever try the third game, Bioshock Infinite? I recently got the Bioshock Collection remastered off PSN cheap and had a great time playing through all 3 games again. Yeah, I did. I played Bioshock Infinite, and it was a game that I've mentioned before because I got, I believe, right to the very, very end. I got to the very last level where you're on a balloon, not a spaceship, yeah, you're on a kind of big balloon and you're getting attacked and you're trying to defend this thing. The baddies are just constantly blasting us and you're trying to defend it, and it was so frustrating. It's one of these games that you can play, that the level, you can play it for 20 minutes and die, then you go right back to the very start. And I played it and played it and played it, and eventually I just got to a point I thought, nah, I've given up, I can't go any further. That's where I would love it if games companies actually built in cheat modes. You know, you can give yourself infinite ammunition or make yourself invulnerable, whatever, something like that. But you know, unfortunately they don't seem to do that. Great game, and yeah, Bioshock, I did enjoy it up to a point, but it annoys me that I couldn't complete it just because it's too damn difficult, unfortunately. Yeah. Question for the Waffle. I have always got a console, game or something to do with gaming off the wife for Christmas. Do you plan on getting a game or something gaming related for Christmas? I've actually got me and my 2 mates, we always buy each other a game, not a game, something for Christmas. And the sad thing is, we always end up, rather than saying just get me a surprise, we're all kind of too particular about what things we want, so generally we tell each other what we want to get. And this year I've actually bought my present for them to give me, and it's Call of Duty World War II on the PlayStation 4. So yeah, I think that'll be the only gaming thing I get. I might get my daughter if somebody buys me something gaming related, but I've not asked for anything else at all. So I think that'll probably be it. But yeah, anyway, thanks Craig. Next up, Jamie Williamson, back again. Number 1, we're the first generation to be into retro classic gaming as a hobby. Do you think we're also the last? I find it hard to imagine that today's gamers will give a damn about current games in 30 years' time. Games are no longer identified to one particular system. Back in the day, if you saw a Speccy or a Commodore 64 game, you knew what you were looking at. Also, the sense of the new wow factor is gone. Today's gamers will also struggle to play them in the future due to all the online nonsense that exists today. And as to mobile phone gaming, yeah, I totally agree with you, Jamie. I mean, and I talk about this all the time, I feel very privileged and fortunate that I was, as much as I don't like getting old, you know, nobody wants to get old, I'm grateful that I was alive. I was alive when this whole hobby of ours kicked in. You know, you need to understand, before it existed, then, you know, video games were not a thing, and getting to see Space Invaders for the very first time was an incredible experience. It was completely new, I'd never seen it before, and it was just so exciting. And getting my first computer, getting to load up a computer game on the TV downstairs, or you know, in the living room, whatever. It was an amazing experience, and it can't be understated just how exciting it was. And yeah, I do completely agree with what you're saying, Jamie. I think we're the only generation that has that. We were there at the very onset of this as a hobby, and everybody that's followed since, it's just been there. I mean, now if you take it to extremes now, my daughter, you know, she's 14 years old now. Computer games has always just been here. A computer game is no more different to her than watching a video on an iPad or watching the TV, or even like being able to record yourself. I mean, being able to video yourself on a camera back in the 80s wasn't something we could do. You had an occasional camcorder or whatever, but now it's just part of life. And I do agree with you again. I think that people won't look upon, like, my daughter, her generation won't look upon video games as a separate entity. They'll just look upon it as something in the same way of watching TV or going in a car. It's always been there, and yeah, they may, when they get older, they may reminisce about, oh, I remember playing Call of Duty or whatever, but I don't think the passion that people like ourselves have got will exist, because it's different. It was a new hobby, it was a cottage industry, everything was brand new, people were making it up as they went along, and getting to play, getting to see, witness the upgrades going from like a Commodore 64 to an Atari ST, an Amiga, PC, whatever. And it's true what you're saying. Back then, you would talk about a game based on the system it was on, like, the Commodore 64 or the Spectrum, Manic Miner or Elite on the BBC. Now it's just games. I don't think people will even talk about the PlayStation 4, a particular game on the Switch. People will maybe talk about them just as a game, as a general thing. So yeah, I think everything you've said is true, Jamie. I think we're the first and last. Gaming has become so mainstream now. It's now just part of what we are, that it's not looked upon as special. And I think people probably look at me and think, how the hell, why is that grown man talking about games now? They don't get my passion for it, and I think it's only people our age that can really understand just how exciting it was. And even now I do still get excited, but yeah, I think it's true. Again, it's true with the consoles now. It's all online. We've spoke about this quite a few times. It's all online. And I think maybe in 10, 20 years' time, a PlayStation 4 won't even... I struggle to even imagine that it'll even be a thing that'll exist. You won't be able to play games on it, and it'll just disappear. So yeah, great question, Jamie, and I totally agree with you though. I think we were very fortunate that we appreciate this for what it is, because we were there at the very, very, very beginning, when it was just, games like Boot Hill and Pac-Man and, really basic games. And then, when you get more up-to-date games now, we can appreciate them for what they are. Whereas people now, they don't get excited with games. You never come away, I couldn't tell you the last time I played a game and thought, that's amazing, and talk about it to somebody, they're just, it's just become, the whole thing's become quite blasé, but great question, Jamie. Number 2, you mentioned that you spend more time talking about gaming than doing it. Why is this, do you think? Is it simply a question of limited time, or is it, as we get older, we gain perspective and enjoy the act of looking back on something and analysing it more than doing it? Sort of appreciating it on a level we didn't and couldn't when we were younger. Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, I don't actually play many games. I don't think I've played any games at all this week. I enjoy the whole reminiscing. You can probably tell. The fact that I've been doing waffles for like the best part of sort of 3.5, 4 years, just talking about it. People will say, how the hell can you talk about the same thing over and over and over again? But I get excited talking about it. I love reminiscing with the memories that it conjures up. Video games, I've got so many great memories about games, whether it's from friendships or where I was at that point. I was still back at home, and playing a certain game invokes a certain memory about my mum and dad were still alive and I was a kid, and it was like a carefree kind of existence back then. So yeah, I definitely do. I do enjoy playing games, but I just don't really get the opportunity to play them as much. and it's just a time thing, you know. I've got so many things I want to do. My guitar playing, which is sadly has been knocked in the head at the moment. I do fully intend to get back to it, but it's a question of we're all busy in our jobs, and you know, you've got families, and you've got other things going on, sort of thing. So yeah, I think it is. It's a, you know, I enjoy talking about it. Probably more. I do talk about it more than I actually do playing the games. And again, I think that's down to my age, obviously. And the last one, number 3. Bearing in mind the previous question, do you still consider yourself to be an actual gamer or more of a gaming commentator? I found I was playing less and less, so made a conscious decision to focus on one system at a time and to play for at least an hour a day. This definitely helped me stay in love with gaming and helped me get a new game in Paperboy. That's an interesting one, Jamie. I am an absolute gamer. I mean, I've got my Nintendo Switch there, and you know, I do still class myself as a gamer, but my heart lies in older systems. I mean, I've got myself, you know, the new game for the PlayStation 4, so I do still look upon myself as a gamer, but I also think of myself as a bit of a gaming historian. You know, all this stuff that I'm talking about, I do, I think that's where I am. I've got my gaming, I like to play games, but I also like to talk about it. And I think the thing you're talking about playing, I've got a bit of cramp in my foot there. You're mentioning playing one system at a time. I've tried to do that, and I generally forget about it. But I think that's the best thing you do. You need to pick a system or even one game and just play it and enjoy it. That's what you need to do. I've done it now and again, but the problem with me is I'm far too easily distracted. I'll play a game for a while and then I'll get to a level where I can't get past, or else I'll get a new game will come along and I drop the game I was playing. But you're absolutely right. I mean, I did it with Berserk. I'd never played Berserk before, and I just picked Berserk as a game I wanted to start playing, and I fell in love with it, and it's now one of my favourite arcade games. So yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to pick a system, pick a game, and just play it and forget about everything else. But yeah, I do think of myself as a bit of a gaming, I wouldn't say a gaming commentator, but a gaming historian. Not that, you know, that sounds a bit pretentious, just because I like to talk about systems, and I think I've got quite a good sort of general knowledge of the old systems as well. But anyway, yeah, thanks Jamie, there's some great questions in there. Second last question, guys, from Colin Jones. Do you remember any mechanical arcade games? If so, which ones? Mechanical ones. The only game I can think of which was a mechanical one, and it used to be in the arcades, and it was the shows that used to come around, and it was like skeet shooting, and I mean, it was, when I try and imagine it now, my memories of it was, you know, you were I had this big backdrop. It was like a blue sky with clouds, and then you had like a rifle, and obviously you put your money in, and it was like skeets would fly across the screen. You had to shoot them. I mean, I don't know whether it was mechanical or was it kind of like a light. It wasn't like a light gun, but do you remember the old games? Was it Tin Can Alley, where you basically fired a beam of light? It was like a torch. That's all it was, a torch. You fired it, and it would make the sort of cans pop up. I think it was something like that. I never actually played it, but I can remember it. Any other mechanical games? I can't think off the top of my head of any. No, I mean there was things like horse racing and that kind of stuff. You know, you bet, you put money in, and you had to pick what horse was going to win. That was a kind of mechanical game, but it wasn't an arcade game as such. But I can't think of anything else. No, anyway, listen Colin, thanks for that, mate. And finishing off, Mr. Ox. Hi Al, you always comment about your job and how busy it is. Do you enjoy your job, or are you finding it's getting too much of a bollock as you get older? Perhaps time to look for another job. Yeah, you know what, I do talk about my job quite a lot, but I do actually enjoy my job. Though, like any job, you know, you get times where it's busy. I mean, we're going through a sort of transition period at the moment. I don't want to go into details because I never like to talk about my work, you know, in any detail on social media. We're going through a bit of a transition at the moment, and so at the moment things are very, very busy. But I think that's going to change. I think it will change. Whether it changes for the better, I don't know. But I'm just going to sit it out at the moment. But I do actually enjoy my job, and I think any job nowadays, it is busy. You know, I'm getting a bit older now. I mean, you know, to completely change what I do for a living would be quite difficult, I think. But I said I do actually enjoy my job. Yeah, it can be manic. It can be very, very busy. It is really busy at the moment. But I do actually, saying all that, I do actually quite enjoy it, you know. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, listen, this is probably dragged on way too long once again. I want to get this edited. Well, I don't edit videos. I want to get it uploaded. Thank you for being patient. I says, yeah, as far as the Friday Waffle goes, I mean, I've had quite a busy couple of months with birthdays and nights out and Christmas and what have you. So I think that's the last of my nights out. So I dare say I will get back to the Friday Waffle being on a Friday. I don't have any plans that I'm aware of anyway. You know, things should get back to normal again. I have got a few videos made. I'm going to keep. It's kind of starting to stabilise. It moved up and then it's kind of stuck. It's not moved up. I mean, I got picked up about 3 or 4 subscribers a couple of days ago, but I think it's going to be a while before I break 2,000. I mean, it's one of these things, you know, you can't decide to, you know, you think to yourself, how can I get more subscribers? Yeah, I could monetize the channel, and I think that moves you up the sort of the Google search or the YouTube search thing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go down that road. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I've got a good base of people that watch the channel, and you know, as I say every week, I really do appreciate all the time and effort that you guys put into watching my videos and to commenting as well, because that is the big thing that makes it all worthwhile. So right, listen, I'm going to get away, guys. Have an excellent weekend, have a nice week, and I shall catch you again soon. Thanks for watching.